Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. We're taking a quick look here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on. I will double check a few key factors here, such as hidden bearish divergences and some background data too, to kind of help round things out here for us. Because if you are new to the channel, I love to teach people to trade. I hope you can learn something today. That's the whole concept here, and we do focus a lot on best practice and making sure that you're not getting wrecked or destroyed in the market. So if you do want that for yourself, jump on over to our Twitter, Telegram, or Discord. More importantly, I would say our Discord group is phenomenal. We got some really good results here too. For ETH, we took a little 15%. We took a small stop loss there for Chainlink, but we replaced it with another long here, and another long here. So Chainlink has just been off the charts good money for us. We took a good 32% as well yesterday. No, sorry, that was an hour ago roughly, from a trade we took a couple of days ago. Same thing with Solana. 5 days ago we took a trade there in the I think $87 range, and now we're at about 78% profit on a 5x leverage trade. So we're just keep it safe, keep it simple. CryptoCash.tech is a site if you want to consider joining. Got a lot of new members. There's a few slots left. Also make sure, if you're new to the channel, please read through our signals guide. Make sure you understand how the trades work and how you should properly structure your trades. It's really important to recognize that because everyone has different risk tolerance, and mine should be different than yours. But if you understand what my approach is when I take my trades, then you'll have a better chance of being more successful with my trades if you take them. Okay, so Bitcoin, let's go to the back end data here first. And I kind of already zoomed in here. This is the last 7 days worth of trading. We can see that heavy amount of liquidation at 43,850 got swept here today. So a lot of folks are shorting this coin here right now. And of course, there's a little bit more, upwards of 44,000. So not saying that we're going to necessarily see that upper level get hit, because just because there's liquidation there doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just implies that there's a little bit more merit for the price to retest that 44K range. So is it worth waiting? We're going to find out and see. But for right now here, just note, as per usual, 38 to 39,000 is the general area that people are have the most amount of liquidation. That has changed a little bit because it was like 38.5 at one point. Now it's more like 39.2. Okay. So again, liquidation levels change all the time. That's why we look at it. And I'll post that on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Let's go ahead and jump on over to our daily time frame and see what's going on here. If there's anything worth mentioning on the daily. Since yesterday, of course, things have changed a little bit. The price continued a little bit higher. Since we talked about this, we do have a fair value gap upwards about 45.7 that could get filled. Is that a guarantee? No, we do need to get past this 44K range. As you can see, the amount of volume at 44,000 is high. Okay, it's a previous resistance and would be considered to be a support if we can break through that. We want a solid closure above that level before we can consider that though. So taking a quick look at the moving averages, we can summarize here that we are closed above all four. This is very bullish. This is half the reason why I get the question from my community, why didn't we short at 42 or 41.5? Well, mainly because we had a lot of momentum going into that. You got to be patient with the weekend. And at this point here, it just doesn't make a ton of sense to just open up a bunch of shorts because we are now on the right side of the tracks for the most part. We also closed above this recent resistance at about 43,200. I have the line drawn a little bit higher with the candle wicks, but if you look at the candlesticks themselves, we can see that we're above that level too. So as the 20-day SMA starts to raise, or sorry, more so the 50 here, we can see that work as a support. So generally speaking, I think shorting right now is not the best idea just from a macro perspective, okay? Smaller timeframes could identify different things, but we are converging on the MACD. We can also see stochastic is topping out. That could imply a slight reversal, but it's pretty standard for it to top out when the price goes sideways and we see a doji candle. Having said that, though, we're over 50 on the orange side. These are all bullish signs. So to me, we have like 9 out of 10, or I'm pulling numbers out of the air, but generally speaking, it's a higher probability statistically the price will sustain and continue higher based on these things here. Okay. Is it a guarantee? Definitely not. There's no guarantees in crypto. I think you should know that by now. It's half the reason probably why you're watching, or you've been watching this long, is because you recognize that it's good to stack the odds in your favor, but you can never truly get everything right. I mean, we took a trade yesterday. It dumped as soon as we took the trade. That happens, folks. It happens to the best of us, even the worst of us. So don't overthink it. The TA is solid. It's going to work out. That's just kind of how you got to go. Once we hit levels of validation, though, that's when we kind of reconsider different stories. Looking at 4-hour time frame, is there an invalidation for the long, potential here for this coin? Well, let's see. First of all, we're above all 4 moving averages. Also very good. The ascending trend line's running concurrent with the 20 SMA. This is a big deal right here. 20 and the 200 are just kind of hanging out at 42.8. So you could say that 42,800 is a strong support level for us, or at least it has potential to be so. Having said that, in the most recent, let's see, this is since January 12th, this is roughly since the price dropped very hard from that wonderful Bitcoin ETF timeframe at about 49,000. If we look at this here, we can see we have a solid amount of volume at roughly the same level, 42.8. So to me, 42.8 over the last 2 to 3 weeks tells us that we have a strong amount of support at that level and that we've broken through somewhat of a resistance level. Okay, so that to me is very positive. When we take a look at the 4-hour RSI, money flow index, all these things, yes, they are coming down, they're tapering off, but they're still up and they're still above 50. That's really the biggest point there. Half the reason why after Friday being above 50 on the RSI, I've been very timid about trying to consider a short position. While we could take a short right now and it might seem advantageous, a lot of reasons here not to want to consider that, based again from a larger and a midterm time frame. So we look at everything kind of comparatively here, there's a solid chance that we will see the price continue higher. We have swept this upper level of liquidity from before. There's a massive amount of liquidity, upwards of 47 to 49,000, of course. That's a ways away. In fact, we can go ahead and jump on over here to the monthly and just quickly get perspective on big picture, since we're kind of talking about it, and you can see a massive amount of liquidation up there. You can also see too, if you zoom in just a little bit further here, we'll go even closer, that there is a really large amount of liquidation from within the last month at 44,100. So I would not be surprised if we see 44K retested, that sweep of that upper level liquidity before the next pullback. And once again, the next pullback may not come as low as some people were thinking. But again, we're not at the Bitcoin halving just yet either. So at this point, it's honestly could go 50-50, but the macro is telling us there's no reason for the price to go down to that low 40 to possibly even upper 30,000 range. While that's still a possibility, we got to recognize that and be aware of it. It seems less probable at this point. And again, that is as of right now. Can things change as of 15 minutes from now? Oh yeah, you bet your butt you can. So let's go and take a quick look here at Ichimoku Cloud and confirm a couple things here. This is again bullish for the most part. In other words, conversion lines above the baseline. We're above the laggings. We're above the cloud here, which coincidentally is averaging itself out between 42.5 and 43,200. That's a good little range here for us. I think we're going to see a solid amount of support in this range unless we lose it. So me personally, unless we lose 42,500, there's a pretty decent chance we're going to see the price continue higher. It just kind of has that feeling. Either way, you don't trade on feeling or emotion. I'm just kind of giving you the sense that I have over the last 20 years of trading. You kind of see these things a little different. And the lagging span here, of course, it's free and clear of the price action. Okay, so we got this typical little flag type of breakout, or flag-ish, if you will. And then, of course, the price broke out, goes sideways here at this previous support level at 43.4. So really today, what we're looking for is a close close to where we're at right now or higher. Obviously, we always want that, but is that a guarantee? No. So to me personally, it seems a little premature to short. But again, you got to recognize lagging span getting closer. Price has a tendency of dropping once that happens. But again, you look at this in its history here, the lagging span intersected here and the price continued higher, or it kind of went over and up. So generally speaking, that's not like the most telling. What this is just indicating is that we're still in good shape here to leave your long position open, is what it boils down to. 12 to 24 hours from now, that narrative could change. What we also want to look at too, and somebody was mentioning this in the chat, about a bearish divergence here. And the truth is, yes, there is a slight bearish divergence. I don't think it's super aggressive or anything to really concern ourselves with too much, but on the hourly, we can see the price action effectively going up and the RSI going down. Okay, so we've had this, it's tested it twice here at this level, and the second test is lower than the other being higher. That's what a hidden bearish divergence is. So is this a telling sign that the price is going to drop? It's telling us that the price could drop in the short term. It's not going to say that the large time frame is there. So if anyone's banking on a hidden bearish divergence taking the price action to 38,000, I think you've got a lot to learn. Okay. What this does tell us, though, is that we could very well see a retest of this lower range of 42.5. And if we do not hold 42.5, we'll have to have a different conversation altogether. So my personal opinion is if 42.5 occurs, that would be a great place for consideration for long. Obviously, depending on other factors, but once more, majority of the factors right now on 4-hour on the daily are considered to be bullish. The hourly is transitioning a little bit, letting us know we're losing that momentum, but it makes perfect sense. considering the circumstances. So I personally feel right now we have more bias towards up than down. That's really just the general consensus. So in a perfect world, what we're going to see is the price come down to bounce off of this most recent high, which is 42,800. Coincidentally, same level that we're seeing all the moving averages hanging out there on the 4-hour time frame. Once again, transitionary time frame, 4-hour time frame carries a little bit more weight than the hourly. So to me, I think 42.8, a little pivot off that level, would be spectacular. That would be an optimal entry for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and set alert and then reevaluate if the price comes to that level. If so, it might be a good consideration for a long. If we have some bearish scenarios by then, we can obviously consider a short too as well. Okay, I don't think it's too late. But that's kind of where we're at there. So big picture, I think we're still in good shape. Trying not to get too crazy with the shorts right now. It's I wouldn't say it's not a short market, because obviously a lot of altcoins are selling off, and we're seeing, Bitcoin dominance kind of acting a little funny here, right? It's dropping, some alts are surging. It's a unique market to say the least. So I would just be very careful in how you trade. Low leverage, low position size. That's what we do in our community. Awesome stuff there. So again, be sure to check that out in your own time. I do recommend, again, if you're going to be trading with my signals, just read specifically through the signals guide and understand that in its entirety before you take a trade. Thanks again so much for watching. Very last thing, of course, to anybody who doesn't know, because I know a lot of questions get asked here in our community. Otherwise, Bitunix, yes, no KYC, no VPN required, whether you're in the US, Canada, etc. So that's why it's beneficial. That's why I recommend it. Nice benefit rewards if you use my link to register. We will have private trading competitions to those who use my link to register here soon, and I look forward to that as well. Between now and then, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon.